Could the Yamaha Pianica P37D be the MelodicaWorld's best kept secret? Well, I've been checking it out, and in this video I'll be doing my full review and sharing my findings with you. Coming up. Hey, Darren here from MelodicaWorld, bringing you the best tips and tricks for melodica players and helping you choose the instrument that's right for you. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. At any point in the video, check out the show notes and links in the description below where I'll list all the gear I'm using. Let's get into the review. The first thing you're going to see is it comes in this plastic carry case. It's actually really practical, it's hard, and it's going to protect your instrument, especially if you're having to carry it around with other instruments. There's a tube and a mouthpiece. So if you want to play the melodica like a piano, you would just place it down in front of you, use the tube. That way you can put the tube in your mouth and blow, and you can use both hands. Personally, I like to use the mouthpiece. Obviously, it means you can only use your right hand, but there is a definite advantage of using the mouthpiece. Your mouth is much closer to the reeds and the actual instrument. If you want to do effects like vibrato or tonguing, it's going to be much easier. It's just going to be easier to have more control over the sound you're getting. And then I like to do circular breathing as well, and I can only do that using a mouthpiece. You'll see there's a strap on the back, and in theory you're meant to slide your hand through this strap and play it like this. In reality, it's really uncomfortable, and I like to hold it using my thumb on the inside and 4 fingers on the outside. Actually, this is how most melodicas will play this instrument. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use a strap on any melodica, ever, so I'm not really sure why they have them. One real positive about the P37D is the colour. It's a deep burgundy red, and although like most melodicas it's made from plastic, it looks slightly more like a serious instrument. It's got the Yamaha logo on the front, and down at the other end is the moisture release button. Now this is the button you press when you need to release any moisture that's built up inside the melodica. But why is there moisture inside the melodica in the first place? Well, air from the lungs is actually quite wet, so when you've been playing for quite a while, the moisture collects inside. And this leads to strange things like the notes not playing, or they might temporarily go out of tune. Or sometimes the notes just sound really strange, like sound effects. On most melodicas, you can discreetly drip the moisture onto the floor next to you, but the Yamaha has a different system. It releases the moisture into the inside of the case, where it eventually evaporates through these little vents. Let's take a look under the cover. Turn the melodica upside down. There's 4 screw holes here, so go ahead and unscrew each of these screws. Then turn the melodica back round. 4 screws should drop out onto the table, and these 2 end sections should just fall off. Now you can easily lift out what I call the skeleton. It's the inside of the melodica. This is still an instrument, it plays fine, it just doesn't sound quite so good because it doesn't have a case for the sound to resonate in. Again, turn it upside down. This time you've got 5 screws to undo. Now you're ready to lift the lid. That's this section here. You may notice a bit of black stringy rubber. This is nothing to worry about, that's called the gasket, and it's there to keep the instrument airtight. So just place that aside. It's easy to put that back in. It has the groove here, and it just rests inside that groove when you put it back together. So now we can see the reeds. Each reed has a different sized tongue, which creates a different pitch. The lower the note, the bigger the reed. Reed quality is really important in a melodica because it determines the quality of tone. Poor reeds have a harsh tone, and they tend to go out of tune really quickly. Fortunately, Yamaha makes some really nice reeds. They're quite stable for tuning, and they have a great tone. Like every melodica, they will clog up from excess moisture, but you know what to do when that happens. You use the moisture release button. I tested the tuning straight from the factory, and it's not quite perfect. Yamaha Pianicas are often slightly on the sharp side, but I'm talking really slightly here. It's not something you'd really notice without testing. Well, with the instrument back together, what's it actually like to play? Well, let's look at the keyboard. It's actually really uniform. It's smooth as you run your finger along. None of the keys are sticking up. What about the spacing of the keys? They're not entirely evenly spaced. I can see there's a gap of about 0.8 of a millimetre here and then about 0.4 of a millimetre right next to it. This is just slight aesthetics. It really doesn't make any difference while you're playing. One thing to note about the keyboard is it's a little bit clunky and it makes a bit of noise. But this is a really, really loud instrument, so it's not something you're going to hear while you're actually playing. I've recorded with this loads of times and I've never had a problem with key noise, even when miking quite closely. So let's see what it actually sounds like. So what do I think of the Yamaha P37D? As a professional musician and melodica maker myself, I look for three things in a melodica. Firstly, the tone has to be good, and the P37 doesn't disappoint here. It sounds warm and full and it holds its tuning well. Secondly, it has to be easy and fun to play. Again, the Yamaha delivers with light keys and an even keyboard. I have the freedom to play fast and complex music whenever I need to. And it doesn't take much breath power to get a loud sound. That's really important if you're planning to play with a group of acoustic instruments. Finally, it has to look good. And although it's definitely a plastic instrument, I think they got the colour right here. It looks more grown up and it wouldn't look too out of place amongst other more traditional instruments. In my opinion, it's definitely one of the best melodicas available right now for both live use and studio use, especially when you consider its reasonable price. So that brings us to the question of the day, and that is, what do you think about the Yamaha P37D? Maybe based on the review you've just watched, or maybe you've had a chance to test it out for yourself. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't done so yet. And to see other videos, click or tap the screen. Until next time, Melodica World, bringing you the best tips and tricks from melodica players. See you soon.